Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is some of my favourite handmade goodies and DIYs that I've made over the years for my planners. Planning can be quite an expensive hobby and there's lots of places trying to make you part with your cash with lots of cool accessories and things you just have to have. I'm sure my channel is one of the places that probably doesn't help, but there are quite a few bits and pieces that you don't need to necessarily spend a lot of cash on. And I'm here to show you some of my favourite DIYs and kind of top tips and hacks and things that I think probably are really useful and will hopefully save you some money in the long run. First up, we're going to talk cardboard pockets. If you like to carry around things in your planner, whether it be kind of documents or vouchers if you're using it as a purse, having extra storage is brilliant. There's usually lots of plastic storage pockets you can buy, either for Filofax or Traveler's Notebook, and over the years I've made a few different ones myself just to kind of save on money. This is my most recent one. It's basically my version of the craft pocket that you can get from Traveler's Company. Literally just cut down some card. I used inserts that I already had to kind of work out the sizing that I needed, and then literally just double-sided sticky taped some extra cardstock on here, and then you now have a nice voucher holder, or whatever it's for. The one thing that I didn't do in this, because this is kind of a bit of a prototype, is add a bit of a kind of bleed area almost. I don't really know kind of what to call it, but this is one of the pockets that I made quite some time ago now. If you haven't seen this planner before on my channel, this is my A5 Filofax. It's basically, I use it to hold kind of all my house documents and important things to refer back to every so often. So because of that, I needed a lot of storage space, and rather than buying lots of Filofax pockets, I just decided to make my own. And this design is a little bit better. So when you come to kind of make your pocket piece, what you want to do is, it's probably going to be really hard to tell, but there's a little bit of extra space. That there gives you then the space to put the double-sided sticky tape, which then means you get the full pocket width. Particularly if you're doing something A5 size and you want to keep A4 documents, you need this full width to actually store folded up A4 pages. So if you are going to make your own pocket, highly recommend just having that extra little space, because then A4 pages fit in perfectly. I am going to redo this one at some point. I just kind of wanted to see if I could do a decent enough job, and actually yeah, I really like that. It gives me a bit of extra space, really handy, and is significantly cheaper than whatever Traveler's Company are charging for theirs. Next up we have pencil board. So this is a pencil board that I have had for many years now. Really simple to make, highly recommend, particularly if you don't need a pencil board for the lines on the back. So I've got one coming from Traveler's Company that's got the kind of grid spacing on the back. I ordered that because it was part of the new range and it looked quite pretty, and I deliberately wanted the lines on the back so that in my plain inserts I've got a line to keep to. However, equally you can DIY it. I just didn't choose to this time around, but basically paper or cardstock laminated to the size that you need, smooth off the edges so it's not kind of super sharp when you cut it out, and literally done. You can also print out, if you do want lines like I do, you can obviously print out any kind of like grid or graph paper or anything like that and do one side graph paper and one side design. Again, simply laminate it, good to go. Like I say, this, I've had this for years and it lives in my B6 and I use it most days because this is a bit of a scratch pad for me, and yeah, wear and tear is fantastic in comparison to paying however much for a pencil board. I do own other pencil boards. I've got the Traveler's Company one on the way. I've also got a Hobonichi Weeks one, again because I like the design and wanted the lines on the back, but yeah, really something that you don't necessarily need to buy. So when I moved into my A6, I didn't want to put a cover on it, but I needed somewhere for a pen loop, because the whole point of this is that I throw it in my bag and forget about it. That doesn't work without a pen loop, and as you can see, I have been kind of clipping the pen to the front and it really bugs me that there's the indents. So what I did, and also the literature pen loops are great, but I didn't want to stick one to the back here where it may have got in the way of the pocket, or I didn't want to stick it and then have to, you know, effectively lose it when I moved into another planner, or, you know, changed bullet journals when this was full. So what I decided to do was effectively create a page marker / pen loop, which then means it can go in as a page marker, it can live at the back, it can live at the front, it can go wherever. Again, just a piece of plain cardstock cut down, and then the pen loop is stuck to it. It then also means that if I move, you know, if I fill this up and need to move to another bullet journal, this can go with it. It doesn't have to, you know, kind of die with that. You can pull out these pen loops, the adhesion. I mean, you'd have to re-stick it, you'd have to get some double-sided tape, but you can rip these out. It's just sometimes it will rip a chunk out of the book, which has happened to me before. So yeah, just keeping it on something like this just removes kind of any fuss. You just move it from planner to planner. Handy little thing. Sticking with page markers and kind of bullet journals and things like that, something that I've started doing in recent years that I basically have in every planner now is a blotting paper page marker. Again, this works really well as a kind of, you know, put it in today so I can get to today's page really quickly. But then if you're using fountain pens and if you smudge them like I do, if you've seen any of my videos, you will have heard me moaning about fountain pen and smudging it. So yeah, having blotting paper that just lives in my planner but then acts as a page marker, and it isn't just, you know, super annoying, you know, getting covered in ink. It actually feels like it has a good secondary use just by adding so this is just a post-it tab. Again, you can move it from one planner to the next. I have basically one in here, one in my weeks, and one in my cousin. They all have a page marker. And yeah, it also means as well, because if I don't use it as a page marker, sometimes I will then lose it in the planner and can't find it, particularly if it's in my cousin. If I've got a tab on it, I can just really easily find it. It's something minor, but I will not be without these, and yeah, it's one of my favourite little hacks. Going back into filofaxes briefly, and dividers. So these are, again, something that you can spend money on. There are lots of amazing sellers on Etsy selling them. I have dividers that I have bought as well, but sometimes, particularly as I'm a card maker and I have lots of cool paper stock in my stash, I'll find a design in my stash and I go, oh, actually this is going to match this certain planner really well, and as you can see, these colours go really nicely in my Malden. Similar to what I've said previously around the pencil board, really simple to make. Literally just cut out your paper stock, laminate it, done. These have got like perfectly measured out tabs because I made these in my silhouette, but there's quite a few ways around that. You can get hole punches for tabs. Obviously that can be quite expensive depending on the hole punch. So another way round it to kind of get nice tabs is to use sticky like post-it tabs. So when I was showing this, you could get, you know, something like this, maybe not in this shape, maybe some circular ones. Muji do really good circular ones. You could stick them where you want on just the unlaminated paper, then send it through the laminator, and then you can cut around the tab, and it's just a way to basically cheat tabs without necessarily having to kind of expertly measure out and work out the sizes and things like that. You can just do it all with the sticky tabs. You can work out, you know, your spacing and everything a lot easier than, you know, trying to do it kind of by hand. So yeah, little top tip there. But yeah, dividers, really easy make to do. If you are a scrapbooker or something like that, then you've probably got loads of paper stock that would probably work really well in your planners, so I highly recommend giving that a try. This is a really minor one, and one thing that I'm not huge on doing myself, but I did want to mention it because it's a really good hack, particularly early on, if you don't want to get a load of stickers, or you don't want to, you know, start buying loads before you've worked out whether you're a sticker planner or not. If you've got plain colour stickers, I mean, these are from my shop, but most high street stationery stores do just have simple plain stickers that might just be, you know, simple circles or things like that. If you have some of those and you have some stamps, because maybe you've been previously stamping and want to kind of try stickers, you can just stamp straight onto the stickers, and then you suddenly have a load of new stickers with kind of coloured backgrounds rather than just, you know, stamping straight onto your planner paper, it also means you can take them with you. So the reason I actually made these ones was this is an idea from Lindsay Scribbles video. So she, when she goes on holiday, she was taking a date stamp and was date stamping the days in her bullet journal so that she knew that those were the days that she was away, but then realised kind of it's quite clunky to take away a stamp, so she basically date stamped on some stickers, and then meant that she had, you know, a week's worth, 2 weeks worth of stickers ready to go, and cut down on all that space. So like I say, not something that I'm big on doing, but I did want to talk about it because it's a really good money saving bit, particularly if you are big on stamping but haven't really gone into the world of stickers. This is a good way to kind of eke into it without spending a load of cash. Sticker books are my latest handmade thing that I've kind of got into recently. I found some bulk 6x4, well, it's kind of just under 6x4 reusable sticker paper. So this is basically the backing of sticker paper. I could only find it in bulk rather than fewer sheets. So I have actually listed some smaller quantities in the shop if you want to do something similar yourself. But basically I got 5 sheets of this kind of just below 6x4, and then got some 6x4 cardstock, because again I have loads of cardstock, stapled it in the middle, folded it over, trimmed the excess, because that is something that you have to be aware of when you're making booklets. If you've ever made a traveller's notebook before, you'll know that as soon as you fold it you'll get kind of an overhang, which is why the fact that this cardstock is perfectly 6x4 and this is slightly smaller, that does help with that. But yeah, I've just made a couple of these so that I have some stickers on the go, because when I, you know, am out and about, or if I'm travelling, I don't want to take loads of stickers, and I don't particularly want to take loads of sheets. So actually, if I can just sit before the trip, put in some stickers that, you know, I know I'll probably want to use while I'm away, this is a lot easier to transport than a load of different sheets. And it was extremely inexpensive to make. I mean, you don't even really need to put the cardstock on if you didn't want to. You can put paper stock on or anything, just, you know, staple them together and you're kind of good to go, really. It's, yeah, this is my kind of new favourite thing. These aren't the nicest of colours, but again, these were kind of just early prototypes that I was kind of playing around with as a bit of a proof of concept, and kind of experimenting with how many sheets I could get away with before it got a bit too thick or the overhang was a bit too much. But yeah, I really like those. I have too many stickers and I don't use enough of them, and I think if I could take a few of them out and about with me, particularly when I'm away, I'll probably use them up a little bit more. Also, if you are someone who likes to collect kind of ephemera and things like that when you're away, this is a really great way. You know, if you peel off a sticker from a coffee cup or an ice cream tub, you can stick it in here and it won't lose its stickiness, that when you get home or when you want to do some journaling, it's there ready to go and get stuck in. So my final two things are kind of they're not DIYs really, they're just kind of more little hacks. The first one is plastic pockets. So if you have got the Hobonichi Weeks in the past, you will know that you get kind of a similar one of these with your planner each year. It's a really fantastic way of adding a little bit of extra storage. You know, when talking about the sticker books, you can cut down some paper and just slide in your most used stickers in there. I use this as a purse, so my bank card and ID goes in here. There's just a million and one uses, and they're just a great way to add a bit of extra storage, particularly if, like me, you don't like having covers on planners sometimes. So yeah, highly recommend kind of picking up some of those for your planner. I do sell these in the shop, so I will leave a link below. And then the other thing, which actually ties in quite nicely, because more often than not I do keep this in something like this, is using credit cards or old you know, discount cards or whatever for washi storage. So, you know, talking about the sticker book just then around, you know, having something on the go that I can use, this also helps with that. You know, sometimes I will want to kind of decorate a page or something like that, but I'm not going to take loads of rolls of washi with me. But having something just ready to go with a couple of colours, you know, they might be my most used colours or favourites, just so that I have it kept in there. Perfect. Great little way of adding a bit of colour to my pages while I'm out and about and not having to wait until I get home. These are specific kind of blank cards that I've got in the shop, but I have used loyalty cards in the past. I remember handing over my paper chase card to somebody, and it had some washi tape right around it, and the woman at the till was like, "Oh, that's a really good idea, why did I not do that?" Yeah. little thing, but I thought it would be worth mentioning it during this video. And that's it for kind of little DIYs, little hacks, things like that. I hope this was useful. I hope this was interesting. If there is anything that you've kind of made for your planner that you know, is one of your favourite DIYs or hacks, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear some more and get some more ideas for things that I can do, particularly as I'm now starting to set up next year's planners. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!